welcome to the Ready Hope with me, Dee. Today we're going to do a simple post-workout yoga routine. So we're going to stretch those muscles to help to get the circulation back into the muscles, which helps with the repair of the muscles following a tough workout, and also helps to slow down the heart rate and get it back to a regular beat. So grab yourself a comfortable spot and we can get started. So we're going to start lying down on our mat today. So usually after a tough workout, the first thing I want to do is just lie on my back. So we can stretch the left leg out in front, and we're just going to pull the right knee into the chest. And we'll take a couple of breaths here. We're going to stretch that leg up towards the ceiling. You can grab the back of your hamstring and pull the leg in towards the chest, keeping that left leg flexed and straight out in front. You can have a bend in the knee here if you like, depends how tight your hamstrings are. Take a couple of breaths here. If you want to deepen the stretch, you can lift your upper body and attempt to bring your forehead close to your knee or your shin. Take a couple of breaths here, or it's perfectly fine to stay lying flat on the ground. Exhale to release, and slowly lower that right foot back down to the mat. We're going to bring a bend into the left knee. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left knee. And we're just going to open that right hip out to the side. Feel free to stay here if this is enough of a stretch for you. We'll take a couple of breaths. If you want to deepen the stretch, we're going to lift the left foot off of the mat and interlace the fingers behind the left knee. So you can either grab the back or the front, whatever's accessible to you. Try and keep the shoulders flat on the mat. Take a couple of breaths. There shouldn't be any pressure on the knee here. You should feel a stretch in that right hip. If you want to deepen the stretch slightly, you can come to raise your head towards your right ankle. Take a couple of breaths. And exhaling, lower the head back down to the mat. Drop that left foot back down, uncross the leg. Straighten the legs, and we're going to do the same at the left side. So right leg is straight, toes are flexed. We're going to bend that left knee into the chest this time. Just pulling it in gently. And taking some long, deep breaths. Stretch that left leg up towards the ceiling. Pulling on the back of the left hamstring. You can have a slight bend in the knee here again if you like. Take a couple of breaths here. You want to deepen the stretch. You can raise your upper body and attempt to bring your forehead close to your knee or your shin. Exhaling, slowly lowering back down. You can lower that left leg back down towards the mat. I'm going to bring a bend into the right knee. Cross the left ankle over the right knee and open that left knee out to the side. We're getting a good stretch on the hip here. Take a couple of breaths here. You can feel free to stay in this position, or if you want to deepen the stretch, we're going to lift that right leg off the mat, grab the back or the front of the right knee. If you want to deepen this stretch, you can also lift the upper body. Take a couple of breaths. And release. And we're going to uncross that left ankle. We're going to hug both knees into the chest. Give them a good squeeze. You can gently rock from side to side to massage the lower back. And then we're going to rock and roll up to a seated position. So as you inhale, you can pull your knees back. Exhaling, coming up to seated. Bring the legs out in front. Spine is straight and long. As we inhale, we're going to reach up. Exhaling, reaching for the toes or the ankles or the shins, wherever is comfortable for you. Inhaling to lengthen the spine. Exhaling, hinging from the hips, coming to fold forward. Again, we're getting a good stretch on the hamstrings, all down the back of the legs. Feel free to have gentle bend in the knees here if you need. Take a couple of breaths. Inhaling, rising back up to center, and exhaling to release. We're going to bring the left foot in towards the upper right thigh. Again, we're going to inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold over that right leg. Again, reaching for the shin, the ankle, interlacing the fingers around the toes, or grab the sole of the foot. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold. Inhaling back up to center. We'll do the same with the opposite side. So that right foot comes in towards the left thigh. Inhaling, lengthening the spine. Exhaling, hinging from the hips, folding forward. Keeping your focus point on your toe. Inhaling to lengthen that spine. Exhaling to fold forward. Again, there can be a bend in the left knee here if you like. Inhaling, rising back up to center, and exhaling to release. So we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. So you can bend the knees into the chest, bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees fall out towards the edges of the mat. You can grab your ankles or interlace the fingers around the toes. We can even bring the hands behind the back to straighten the spine. We're just going to butterfly the knees a couple of times. Release the tension in the hips that we can often get after an intense workout or a long run. Feel free to stay here. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to gently fold forward, and we'll take a few deep breaths here. Next inhale, we're going to rise back up to seated. We're going to come to cross the legs. We're going to come into a gentle twist. So as we inhale, we'll reach up and lengthen. Exhaling, we're going to bring that left arm to the right knee, right arm behind our spine. Gently look over the right shoulder, keeping the spine as straight as possible. Inhaling back to center, reaching up to lengthen, exhaling around to the opposite side, taking a few deep breaths here. Inhaling back up to center, reaching up to lengthen, exhaling, bringing the arms back down to the knees. So we come into a gentle side stretch. So we'll bring that right arm out to the right side. If you can come down onto the right elbow. We're just going to reach that left arm up overhead and take a couple of deep breaths here. Inhaling back up to center. We'll do the same with the opposite side. Inhaling back up to center. As we come up to the shoulders, we're going to cross the right arm across our chest and hook with the left elbow. Take a couple of breaths here. and release. The same at the opposite side. Left arm comes across the chest, hugging it with the right arm. And release. Now reach the right arm up overhead, bending the elbow. Come to touch the middle of the shoulder blades if you can. You can help the left arm so your right elbow is pointed up towards the ceiling. Spine is straight and long. Couple of deep breaths here. And release. Do the same at the opposite side. So left arm comes up, bending the elbow, bring the palm of the hand down between the shoulder blades or the back of the neck, wherever you can reach is fine. You can gently help it with the right hand. A few deep breaths here. And release. You can shrug the shoulders out, bringing them up, back and down. And just bring the chin to the chest, inhaling up and over the right shoulder, exhaling back down, up and over the left. Inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling back up. Looking forward, bring the chin to the chest. You can just interlace the fingers at the back of the head. Just gently lengthen that spine, stretching the back of the neck. A few breaths here. And release. Thank you for joining me for today's cool down. Hope to see you again soon.